Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos, another paid request, this time for the movie reviewer next door. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, commentaries, tier lists, reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2011 film Faces in the Crowd. And I don't know. This is a film that maybe had a semblance of an interesting idea, but just became a very melodramatic, mediocre, wannabe Lifetime Channel film. With Milla Jovovich, which I'm not big on her as an actress. Granted, I've seen much worse come through the pipeline in recent years, so her stock kind of rose a little bit without having to do anything, but I still don't think she's the strongest dramatic actress. Also, I can't take a film seriously where the fucking killer is named Tear Jerk Jack. Really? Tear Jerk Jack? Which I guess he got that name because he cries over his victims, but how the fuck would anyone know that? Because his victims are dead, so who the fuck would know that Tear Jerk Jack would cry? I guess not enough tears to go get a DNA analysis. But anyway, Tear Jerk Jack. How about Jacking Off Jack? How about that? Jack Off Jack. How about that? Anyway, Milla Jovovich at one point is on a bridge, sees someone get killed. Killer tries to get her, slices her up a bit, throws her off her bridge. She hits her head, and when she wakes up, she has face blindness, where she can't recognize people's faces. Now, this is a real condition, and it's interesting because when she looks at her boyfriend or her other friends, a lot of times their faces keep changing. So at times they'll put like different actors. Like she'll wake up, it's a different actor, or she'll blink, and then she'll be a different actor to put in for that character. Although granted, if it's just the faces, I don't know why at times the body structure changes, or at times the hair changes, or even the, like, wouldn't she be able to recognize people by their voices? Because the whole point is that I don't know if that's my boyfriend or not, I don't know if that's my dad or not, and I'm sitting there knowing, well, wouldn't you recognize his voice? I think the dad eventually she does, but like her boyfriend, wouldn't you recognize your boyfriend's voice? But I don't know. Maybe he has such a boring voice that she thinks it looks, they all sound the same. It's kind of things that kind of twist and turn to try to make it more paranoid for her. So while she has this condition, her boyfriend's getting more and more pissed off about it. Julian McMahon, who is the villain, Doctor Doom, in the 2005 Fantastic Four movie, I think he's also what the show Nip Tuck. He plays a detective who has this goatee, which becomes a crucial plot point later on. And at times it's trying to be this romance movie, which I didn't really buy the chemistry. Sometimes she has nightmares. She's getting her throat sliced. I did laugh that the doctor she goes to is Dr. H. Camp. I'm like, what, Heather? Dr. Heather Camp? But it's not Heather Camp, but it's Dr. H. Camp. I'm like, really? Dr. Heather Camp? For those who don't know, that's the star of A Nightmare on Elm Street and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. So I thought that was kind of a weird choice for a name. Either the writer completely didn't know what they were doing and did it on accident, or they did it on purpose, but I don't know for what purpose, because your name checked in an actress who was in a movie about dreams, which this movie isn't about that, but I don't know. Also, I don't know why. Talking like my tongue tied. Also, the villain, the killer's identity is pretty easy to pinpoint fairly early on. Because with this type of movie, it'll be someone who is somewhat close to the character, or will be close to the character, to try to have some big twist. Since it's someone she can't recognize, there's going to be someone who's going to try to be close to her throughout a good chunk of the film, and you have three suspects: the boyfriend, the cop, and the cop's partner. And spoiler alert, when the cop's partner comes up and says, "You take a warped mind to get into a psychopath's mind, but I don't mind." The way he said that kind of sentence, and the fact he has this little kid around for seemingly no reason, and just a weird vibe, I'm like, is it him? Is it this guy? Yeah, it is. I'm like, wow, okay, well, that was easy. And then it's trying to be either, at times, sort of a drama of a lady trying to go through face blindness, which maybe that would have been a better film instead of trying to put this serial killer aspect into it. Because, like, she's having sex with her boyfriend, and each time she opens her eyes is a different face. Sometimes she sells on the face she likes, and then she goes along with it. Later, her boyfriend gets pissed because I guess her boyfriend assumed you can recognize my face. I mean, that's a quick assumption. I mean, ultimately, because she recognized the tie. Why the guy? I mean, the guy assumed that. That's kind of your issue, your problem. But at the same time, Milla went along with it and didn't tell the truth. Yeah, a lot of times people just do shit that's just the dumb shit to do. Like, why lie to your boyfriend then? That's just a dumb fucking decision to do. Same with, why name your fucking killer Tearjerk Jack? I can't get over that. Tearjerk Jack. I might as well call Butt Wipe James Black. So, Milla is floundering. It's interesting, like, she looks in the mirror, and each time she looks in the mirror, she sees a different face. So she can't recognize her own face anymore because of this face blindness thing. It feels like an idea that should create a lot more suspense, but it really doesn't. Should create a lot more paranoia, but it really doesn't. Because you know from the get-go that that's a male. She knows it's a male, so it's not like she has to worry about her friends or her female doctor being into that case. So and there's a lot of films that have done this where a cop, it gets with a person. Either they're blind, like back in the day you had films like Blink, or what, Mute Witness, or other movies where the cop gets involved with the person who has this affliction, and you have to figure out who the killer is. Sometimes the cop's the killer, sometimes it's not. Flip a coin. At times, Milla Jovovich's acting becomes very melodramatic. Like, there's a bit where the cop knows what condition this girl has. So, what does he do? He decides, after sex, to shave his goatee, and then she freaks out like the end of the world. Why'd you do that? Now you're nothing special. You're just another face. Just the whole thing, this whole fucking thing over the shaving the goatee. Fucking God. Good thing I guess he didn't shave his balls either. I don't fucking know, man. Fucker. Some of these movies, man, you just go, what the fuck? So at times it was like laughable when it wasn't meant to be, or just pretty dull when it should have been intense or whatever the fuck. And then the killer has his ability to just start wearing the same clothes that someone else is wearing. Like in the finale, when the cop is chasing after the killer, who's chasing after Milla Jovovich, and there's a point they both take off their shirts, and they happen to be wearing the same fucking clothes underneath the shirts. To literally did Milla Jovovich with a gun, who's who, and then Julian, he's bleeding, so he makes the blood look like a goatee, because he remembers her freak out, so that she recognizes who he is based on the blood goatee. Which I don't know if that would work anyway, because there are times where like she sees like a different haircut on people, or she sees like a different body build on people, or I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why she can't tell by the voices. Like I did. Okay, you blind with the face, but also with the voice as well. I don't know. I've never. I did say if anyone out there, if you have face blindness, you did tell me. Do you also now recognize voices as well? Because I don't know why would the voices be different if it's face blindness. These two voices would be very different, so just recognize the voice. Again, like you're a blind person. That's why that whole premise kind of goes out the fucking window. Because again, it's about the face blindness, not voice. So just recognize the voice. But... And the finale just really stupid too. Like there's a bit where she knows that's Julian McMahon, so then she shoots the bad guy. So the cop goes by her, doesn't grab her gun. Goes up to the killer and goes, "Give me your gun." So they get into a fight, and then the killer dies, spoiler, but then Julian McMahon gets shot and dies of his wounds as well. I'm like, Milla Jovovich just had a fucking gun. You walk past her, why didn't you grab her gun? Give me your gun. Why did he pass by Milla Jovovich who had a fucking gun in her hand? Because even when they're fighting in Mrs. Silhouette, she has her gun. I'm like, why didn't Julian get that gun? Just to set up this bit where they're fighting back and forth, blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts to sometime later, and then apparently she has a kid, thanks to that pretty much one night stand. Okay. And I don't know, it was hard for me to buy Milla Jovovich and Julian McMahon in love with each other. I'm like, okay, and the acting is there. I said, Milla Jovovich, I've seen much better and I've seen much worse actresses. And yeah, I've seen much worse Sally in the past couple years, so... But she would not be in my top 10 favorite actresses. I'll put it that way. So at times it gets a bit melodramatic. At times the whole face blind, it like makes up its own rules. Sometimes it's just the face, but then again, body language can change, and again the killer just all of a sudden knows what people are dressing like, and like this whole bit with in the subway, where if she had told her dad what the fuck she was going through, the dad could go, okay, I'm going to be wearing this shirt, I'm going to be wearing these pants, I'm going to be wearing an orange shirt. Because not many people have an orange shirt. In fact, I've never seen a person have an orange fucking shirt. Except maybe like a 90s surfing video or something. Like Wannabe, or like a show like a Wannabe, what was that, Saved by the Bell Wannabe? California Dreams? Maybe someone had an orange shirt on there. But she knows the killer's there because he left her purse there that he grabbed earlier, so she's freaking out. But then she sees this person chase after her with an orange shirt. Why didn't the phone call before where the dad said he was going to meet you? By the way, you have this face blindness thing? Thanks for telling me. Okay, you did tell me? Okay, I'm going to be wearing an orange shirt. I'm going to be wearing this and that. No, apparently that common sense doesn't go in the window. So we did have a fake suspense scene where she thinks the killer's there. Then she realizes it's her dad because he calls her snowflake or something. Which you call someone snowflake nowadays. That's a different meaning. But I guess it was different in 2011. So, like I said, the whole idea of the face blindness, not being able to recognize people's faces, could be interesting. But the way it was handled here, again, it felt like a wannabe Lifetime Channel film. At times, fairly melodramatic. At times, characters doing decisions that I don't understand, like the finale. Like, why are you not grabbing her gun when you're walking past her to go up to a killer who has a gun in his hands? And you just go, give me the gun. This guy just murdered a bunch of innocent women. But yeah, if you say, give me the gun, then he just do it fine and dandy. What the fuck? I don't really buy the chemistry between the two, that they fall in love. I don't understand why the face blindness also, I just has a voice blindness too, because she can't recognize people's voices. Sometimes I don't understand why she doesn't tell people her affliction. Like, she goes back to school teaching. Tell the principal what's going on. Because she goes back to teaching, but she doesn't tell people what's going on. So she's like, you know what? She thinks she's going to get through it. Hey, kids, come up. Let me give you a name badge. And then she ended up giving the wrong kid, or the kid to the wrong parent or whatever. And I'm like, that's really fucking stupid on your part. You know, if you told, maybe they'd be like, you know what, take a leave of absence, take a week or two off, something like that. Or let's see if we can work something out. And I don't know, have like an assistant help you out. Maybe for a week or two. Like, there's a lot of things you could have done. Just like the boyfriend. I did. You don't want to lose your boyfriend, but the boyfriend acts like a dick anyway. Let's just say, at the beginning, he seemed like a cool guy, the boyfriend. But then, like, he just, almost out of the blue, starts acting like a dick. Was it me you were seeing when you had sex? She has face blindness. She can't see any face, dipshit. What part of that don't you understand? A doctor fucking explained to you, like, oh, these bullshit doctors. Yeah, he made it up. While he's drinking Folgers in his cup. Dude. Find another jerk to wear a tie. How about you tie your dick to your balls and hop along Cassie out of the fucking movie? So. It's like, okay, we gotta have him act like a dick so that he could be a red herring, which we don't buy that he's the killer anyway. So, because it's such a red herring, very rarely does red herring become a killer. Like, Stream did that fairly well. You think, oh, this guy's a red herring, he's not the killer. The first Stream did that fairly well. Not many films do, though. So yeah, at the end of the day, it could be an interesting premise, but the execution I thought was very, very flawed. So, I think a better script, less melodramatic, more smarter choices in terms of the writing and character decisions. It's have better explanations of why she don't recognize voices either. Anyway, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.